Breaking news tonight, former President Trump found liable of sexual abuse and defamation and not liable for rape. His accuser, E. Jean Carroll, says the former president attacked her in a department store in the 90s. Mr. Trump has been ordered to pay $5 million in various damages. He's calling the verdict a disgrace, and he says he will appeal. So what happens now? We've got Fox News national correspondent Bryan Llenas. He is here in studio with the very latest.
Kennedy, look, it's a great question. What happens now legally is the appeal. But in the meantime, there are the political ramifications that are going to play out. Trump is obviously the Republican presidential frontrunner. One of his opponents, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson, said this is serious and another example of indefensible behavior by Trump. But another candidate, Vivek Ramaswamy, said this, quote, "This seems like just another part of the establishment's anaphylactic response against its chief political allergen, Donald Trump." It took the jury of 9 less than 3 hours to unanimously find Trump liable of sexual battery, specifically finding he sexually abused and forcibly touched E. Jean Carroll in a department store in 1996. They also found him liable for defamation for maliciously smearing Carroll's reputation. Now, the jury, however, did not find Trump liable for rape, which is the central claim from Carroll. Carroll alleged that Trump raped her in that dressing room at Bergdorf Goodman some 27 years ago. And after the verdict, Carroll wrote this: "I filed this lawsuit against Donald Trump to clear my name and to get my life back. Today, the world finally knows the truth. This victory is not just for me, but for every woman who has suffered because she was not believed." Now, Trump tells Fox News Digital he will appeal this decision, and in posts on Truth Social, he called it a very unfair trial, adding, "I have absolutely no idea who this woman is. This verdict is a disgrace, a continuation of the greatest witch hunt of all time." Now, Trump gave a video deposition, but he chose not to testify in this case. After the verdict, Trump attorney Joe Tacopina, well, he defended that decision.
Having him be here would be more of a circus. And again, what I said in the summation yesterday, reigns true, holds true. It's that, what more could he say other than I didn't do it? And he said that under oath here.
Carroll's attorneys not only used the fact that he didn't testify against him, they also used that deposition video and as well as that infamous 2005 Access Hollywood tape against him as well. Kennedy.
And there are more hits to come, Brian. We've got charges pending in Georgia and with the special investigator.
Yeah, and I believe a lot of the experts will tell you that the case about the classified documents is one of the most serious ones of the lot that he's facing. Well,
now let's do President Biden and his classified documents. Lock them all up. Bryan Llenas, thank you so much.
Thank you, Kennedy.
Great to see you.
Good to see you.
All right, this isn't the only fight the former president is facing. As you know, he is indicted here in Manhattan, facing a criminal inquiry in Georgia, and he's under special counsel investigation for mishandling those classified materials. So will Trump's legal troubles change the way Republican voters see him? Let's break it down with tonight's party panel. We've got host of the Garry and Shannon Show on KFI AM 640 in Los Angeles. It is Garry Hoffman. And we've got Fox News senior political analyst keeping our nation's capital safe. It is Juan Williams. And we've also got the co-founder of Based Politics, the one and only Brad Polumbo. So, Garry, I will start with you. Does this do anything to change the former president's poll numbers or where he stands with voters right now?
It's going to be hard to say. I mean, good old fighting Asa Hutchinson came out of his corner and made a very boring but predictable statement about it. We'll see if Ron DeSantis, if Nikki Haley, if Tim Scott, if any of these people actually come out and can make any ground out of it, or can I make any ground on the president when it comes to reducing the lead in the polls. I don't know. I mean, it seems like a former president who is now being held civilly liable for sexually abusing a woman and defaming a woman, gosh, that would chip away at some of his numbers. But there's an amazingly strong hold that he's got on the Republican Party. I'm not quite sure why, to be honest with you. And it's frustrating. I mean, it's frustrating that, for example, as Bryan pointed out there, he truthed this morning that he doesn't even know who this woman is. That's not a legal defense against rape or a sexual abuse claim. Oh, that's like saying, I've been accused of defrauding a financial institution out of tens of millions of dollars, but I don't even know what HSBC stands for. That's not a defense for the crime that he was accused of or the claim that was filed against him. So it's frustrating that so many people are going to continue to line up. The Republican Party and the Democrat Party, I know we'll talk about Joe Biden later, but they've got to be frustrated that this is the leader of the party right now, that this is the best we can do is these two guys. It's head-shakingly frustrating.
I mean, but that's what frustrated Republicans say about Joe Biden. Aren't these the two titans of party politics that we deserve, Juan?
Oh, boy. I guess that's a condemnation of us, Kennedy, because that's what we've got. You know, I was just picking up on this thought that if there was a debate, and, you know, Fox has got a debate coming in August, Trump says he's not going to play, but if he was to play, can you imagine? So you would have the other candidates on stage able to say, Mr. Trump, you have been found to have sexually assaulted a woman. And, you know, I don't know what he responds. He can come across with bravado and lies, but that's a fact. And I think it's got to have an impact on the Republican audience. They already know that he has a lot of baggage attached, but it's been a sort of slow chipping away process, and I just think this is getting heavy. The amount of baggage has got to start weighing on people at some point, especially, I might say, the evangelicals.
All right, so Brad, what changes people's minds? Because, you know, there are a lot of conservatives who look at this and go, you know, at some point we have to take issue with something, and then other people go, the whole thing's a witch hunt. Everything. He was not found liable for rape, and it's because this jury pool is tainted. That's why he's having to pay $5 million. They're just trying to get back at him because they're mad he was president.
Yeah, look, I understand why people think there's been witch hunts to get Trump, because on some things there has. I mean, you think of Russiagate. Obviously, at times, the media and the powers that be have been unfair to Donald Trump. But we should evaluate every case on its merits, and this is not one of those times. I looked into this jury. It's full of normal, apolitical people, and even a couple people who seem to be right-wing based in their media habits and some information we have about them. Yet they unanimously found that Donald Trump sexually abused a woman. Everyone deserves their day in court, but he got his, and the jury decided it's more likely than not that he sexually abused a woman. That should be disqualifying. Yeah. Frankly, if you're a social conservative or you just care about basic decency, support anyone else in this 2024 primary field. There's so many options that don't have this baggage, Kennedy.
Yeah, I'm wondering if my options are Dave Smith or Spike Cohen. Things are very exciting for libertarians. All right, the Man Panel returns in just a bit. First up, a new